Travel just a short distance off the beaten track and it's amazing what you can see. The research power of the internet has opened up a fresh chapter in exploration and excitement, often remarkably close to top tourist destinations. Join me, a history buff, Anna, a gap year student, and Ivan, an adventure junkie, as we see how many we can find. We're in Croatia, seeing how much we can see and do, while avoiding the usual destinations. Anna has already explored the effects of tourism. Now it's time to go in search of some hidden history. Our first stop was the town of Reilly, famous for its lighthouse, one of the tallest in the Adriatic, which is allegedly painted with egg yolks. The views here are absolutely beautiful. But there's much more to be found on Dugi Otok besides this relatively well-known tourist destination. The trick is simply knowing where to look.
All around the island you can see traces of Dugi Otok's forgotten past, some of which dates all the way back to the Paleolithic period. In Cave Vlachna, there was unearthed a complete human skeleton dating from around 11,000 years ago. In the nearby cave of Strashnapech, they found a Neolithic flint blade, effectively proving that both caves were inhabited by humans. In local folklore, it's said that these caves were dug by vampires trying to escape the light of day. But whatever their origin, these caves are immensely important for finding out more about the early human habitation of the island, and that's exactly what the current excavations are trying to find more about.
$250,000 years ago, they don't know exactly which of the two. We have Homo neanderthalensis sapiens and Homo sapiens sapiens. One of the two was here, living here. How do I know it was here? There are no pictures, there are nothing, but they found some stone hammers, some stone knives, and some other tools.
Remarkably, it was a piece of good fortune that first made this cave accessible to its human inhabitants.
Normally, this place was closed. Nobody knows what was here, okay? So an earthquake happened. The stone at the entrance fell, and then the gate was opened, so people see you have a cave here. But that happened about 300,000, 400,000 years ago, not today, okay?
The cave is also rich with geological history, dating back to the island's own creation.
There was a river flowing here. Now you might ask me, where is the river now? You can see the watermark. As I said, some 200,000 years ago, this island and Zadar were connected by land, okay? The sea level rose between 40 to 100 meters. This became an island, and the water coming from Velebit is an island. It goes directly into the sea and not here, okay?
Stalactites and stalagmites are formed from calcium carbonate. Here, in this particular cave, in some other cave, maybe you have different minerals. The whole process is water comes through pores, or stone have pores, okay? If it's too fast, then there is nothing. If it comes slowly, some, due to gravity, falls down. It leaves the minerals. It dries, leaves a micrometer. So in a year, maybe you have half a millimeter. So it takes very long time But the formation of stalactite or stalagmite is about half a millimeter per year on the average.
Most tourists visit and leave the island without even hearing about these incredible caves and the ancient stories contained within. Only those willing to explore lay eyes on these wonders. And that's not the only secret Dugi Otok has hidden beneath its surface. To find the next, we left the comfort of dry land behind and took to the water. Near our campsite lies the idyllic harbour town of Basharva, a peaceful place where the troubles and torments of the past feel like a distant memory. But close by, there lurks a secret reminder of Croatia's turbulent history. A U-boat harbour cut into the island's coast by Yugoslav forces in the 1970s. In its dark passageways, the years seem to elapse, and the past feels closer than ever. But nowadays, the U-boats are gone, and the tunnels are instead used by local fishermen. Croatia was hit hard by both World War II and the Yugoslav War. We're returning to Reilly to meet a local who was on the island during the bloodshed of the Second World War.
Some soldiers, they come from Montenegro, and people around the Zadar, they come over as the soldiers. They put us all on this dock here. They were counting to 10. If you don't say anything that you know about partisan, we're gonna shoot you. I remember my father said to one lady, she said, "Why don't you say something?" She said, he grabbed her. He said, "Don't, just be quiet, don't say nothing." Okay, and they didn't do nothing that evening. But what they did, next day when they come over again, they did the same thing. They burned the houses and they killed about 15 people, everyone who was older than 15 years old in another village over there. That was a disaster, and I remember all that because I was a young kid, 7, 8 years old. So.
In Yugoslavia, World War II was also a civil war between partisan and communist forces. This internal conflict was often bloodier and more destructive than the wider war that the West is familiar with.
They come over from prison camp, and the partisans come over. Remember, there was a boat. They come with a boat, and they asked my father to give everybody in a village to go in a partisan army. And he said, "Okay, give it to me, mine. I have no heart to give them that we just came from camp." Because he said that, they grabbed him right there. I was holding him here, and they took him on a boat, and one lady said, "You are not coming back anymore alive." Well, what they did in Bozava, next village, in the nighttime, him, his cousins, and other couple of people, they jumped through the window. They hide it. They were hiding for about 2 months, 3. Sometime, I haven't seen him for a month when they were hiding. But one day I was with my brother, older brother, looking for a nest of the birds. And then my father saw himself, and we saw him over there. But they didn't want anybody to know, because we have kids that weekend.
Nowadays, though, there's little evidence of the chaos that unfolded on this island paradise. But Croatia has so much more to offer than just warm weather and beaches. It's teeming with stories. Some of them are so ancient that they predate civilization itself, while others are still very fresh, raw, vivid memories. But ultimately, it's up to us to decide how many tales we go in search of and how many hidden gems we choose to unearth. Next time, we go in search of adventure beneath the waves to see what sunken treasures lie just off Dugi Otok's shores.